Hello and welcome. I'm Jenny Hall. Thanks for joining me for another card making tutorial. Today we're going to create this little shark card, and this was a special request by my oldest son, Trip. He wanted to make a Father's Day card for his dad, or actually have me make a Father's Day card for his dad, but he was very specific about it. So there's quite a few things that are in this video that are custom requested just by my son. I'm going to be using a stamp set from Lawn Fawn called Duh-nuh, and it's a shark. It's so cute. And some Hero Arts nested wood frames. These are some infinity dies, and they are really fun to work with. Let's check it out. Here's a closer look at the Duh-nuh stamp set from Lawn Fawn and the wood frame infinity dies from Hero Arts. I'm going to be creating the background from Distrexx Oxide inks. I'm working on the Waffle Flower Water Media Matte and using a makeup blending brush to do my ink blending. There's lots of different blending brushes on the market, and I would suggest that you find one that works the best for you, but I'll put a link in the video description to all of the products that I'm using today. I'm using 3 colors of Distrexx Oxides to do the look of an ocean. My son is very specific about what he wants on this card, and he wants it to look like an ocean, and the shark would be down in the bottom part of the ocean. He knows all of this information, so I have to make sure that I try to accommodate it. And I want to make it look like there's some sun rays going down through the water. So I just grabbed a piece of printer paper, folded in half, and am using some of that leftover ink from Salty Ocean to go in and give a little bit more texture to the background. You can see that the brushes clean up really easy with a damp cloth. Distrexx Oxide inks stay wet, so before going forward to the next step, I have to make sure that it's nice and dry. Now I'm going to place this die so that I can know exactly where I'm going to put the sentiment. My son did not want a sentiment, but I got him to agree to something that won't get in the way of the shark. I'm using the Hero Arts Satin Pearl embossing powder, and oh, it's so beautiful. It's not a very strong embossing powder, like compare it to silver or white, and it doesn't show up nearly as much. It's very subtle. So that way I got a sentiment in and some bubbles, and my son could feel happy with the way they look. I'm stamping some of the very small fish from the same stamp set with Memento Tuxedo Black. This is a dye-based ink, so I'm just going to give it just a few minutes to dry before I start adding the blending. Now this is a really small brush that came with the set that I got. It's long and narrow, and it works perfectly so that I can add these colors of Distrexx Oxides in just these really small areas. I want the fish to look like their bellies are darker and the top part is lighter. And then I'm using even a different one of the blending brushes. This one has a circular head and it's very small, and you can see that it works really nice to work into small areas. When I got my set of brushes, I wasn't sure if I would be using all of them, but just check out exactly how well these brushes work. It's really, really nice. Instead of using Copic colors or watercoloring the images, I wanted to try out these brushes and see if I could get something pretty precise and get a nice blended look that would go along with the look of the water in the shaker card, and I'm pretty impressed with how they came out. I really am. I'm going to fussy cut all of these images and then run the long tip of a black marker around the cut edge so that that black carries over to the side. And then I'm using a very small fine point black pen to re-enhance some of the lines that the Distrexx oxides covered up on the stamped lines. One way you could also take care of this is to keep your image in the MISTI so that you can just stamp that black ink again. This is a white gel pen that's adding some highlights, and that will help these different images stand out away from the background in the shaker card. I've already attached a piece of acetate to, or I'm attaching it now, to the back side of this frame. And I really love these frame dies from Hero Arts. They're very, very easy to work with, and the texture that it creates in the paper is really deep. So I'm using some double-sided tape that's very strong to keep that acetate in place, and measuring about where I would like to have the cut part of the background scene. So I'm going to hold these two units together so that I make sure I get it in the right place behind the frame, and then I will use this unit together to place the background exactly where it needs to go. Now I'm going to layer some double-sided foam tape to get the back part of the shaker tall enough. And you can see that this is a non-stick surface I'm working on, so even double-sided tape will not stick to it. It'll stay in place, but it will not permanently adhere to the work surface. I love this water media mat from Waffle Flower. It works so well. So I've used a little more of the foam tape, just one layer, to make the shark stay in place, and then I'm placing all of the little bits inside that will be part of the shaker. And here's a little bit of the chunky holographic glitter from Arteza. I'm using the Moonstone for the white, and then this really pretty blue, and they work great for shaker elements. There's big pieces and little pieces. And just check out how well this thing moves around. I think my son's really going to like it to give to his dad for Father's Day. I hope you liked the card that my son requested. I made it to where the fish could go inside, behind, outside, everywhere, and the shark would stay in its place. That was really important for my son. All of the products are listed in the video description down below, and there are links that you can choose to click on and get some information about them. If you have any questions about this project, I'm happy to help you with answering them, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Until then, see you next time.
Hi, my name is Trip. Thanks for watching the video. See you next time.